Hello, welcome to Jade Kind Gaming presents The Observatory. My name is Adam, and we are here with the 4th session of the Wizards of the Cosmotorium 5th edition 2024 Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Here to help.
I hate you, Bob. Bob, playing Condor. We have Nick as Ryker, Beth as Calliope, Austin as Biff, and Ryan as Xalvadora. Last time, Ryker made a presentation to some of the nobles of flood fastening and got some of them to invest in the Cosmotorium. And then y'all traveled north along the coast into Oramnis to the capital of Hardbody, where we ended the evening of Fire Day, Bloom 21st, when the party all meeting back at the tavern that they're staying at, the Burning Pony. It's a nightmare. Osbert having spent half the day in town checking on his connections to when he can make a case for investments and for money and land. And we will get back into the game when he finally tells you what's going on. Wonderful. You're all here. Let's go up to one of the rooms and have a talk. Can we get a few ales? So we can help with that. He leads you.
Ales?
Ales.
I'm like, why do we have to lose?
Yes.
How many L's do I have to take? This is dumb.
Oh no. But yeah, so you get some ales. Leads you up to one of the rooms. Sit around. Okay, so I've gotten everything lined up. We have a few days wait. I've arranged a meeting to present the investment opportunity for the Cosmotorium to King Horatio Hall. We have to be at the castle at 8 in the morning on Moon Day, Bloom 24th. So we have the weekend, but you should all be dressed in fine clothing. If you don't have that, please try and obtain that over the weekend. But otherwise, I've already paid for the rooms through Moon Day. And have the weekend to yourself. Just don't get in any trouble with the law, because that might make its way up to his advisors. We're hoping that he'll give us, that he'll be generous. I think I will lead the proposal, although
it's like this weekend I can help you put together your presentation. Try to
most of it here as he picks up his actual spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any boards, but it's not really my style.
Okay.
But otherwise, yes. Anyone need help finding clothing, or?
I think I've been dressed before.
It's like, if you want, Dominic can take your measurements and just go out and buy them for you.
Works for me.
I already have fine
I don't even know
clothes.
what fancy clothing looks like.
Yeah. It's like I go over to my chest, open it, and pull out one of my multiple sets of fancy clothes.
I don't think that'd fit.
No, that's why you would have to take your measurements and go out and get them.
I open up my saddlebag, pull out my set of fine clothes. I'm like, will these work?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Yes. Wonderful.
I actually want those. At the beginning of the
Yeah, great. No, he's not. Okay. Good. He goes from a little worried from your attitude to, oh, okay.
It's like, you understand that I don't dress like this for family functions, right?
My lab equipment is considered flying clothes. That's what I purchased them under.
Okay. So it's just Biff that needs it.
The tracks.
The farmer.
Farmer.
Yeah.
I do wear this to family functions.
They're nice.
I look at Biff, I'm like, would you like to have someone else take control of it? Because, like, my mother's in town, so, like, I could just, she would love to.
I'm also happy to help.
You're not in that. So
Oh,
you're
never mind.
You're now
My
like
mother
3 days
is
further north.
3 days away, so I can't help you.
I'm happy to help as well.
Yes. Or Dominic will just do
Yes, no. No one needs your input, man.
Now we
Pulling
use
out a tape
Dominic.
measure. Did you
Yeah, we use
use
Dominic.
assistance?
Yes.
I'll actually pay him.
Mhm.
Just everyone is convinced that you don't actually pay Dominic. That he's just
To
a
be
split.
fair,
My family.
his family pays him.
Oh.
He doesn't actually even
Right.
necessarily know what Dominic is paid, and Dominic doesn't feel that that's something he needs to know.
Such
like,
things
how
the
much
young
of-
master need
He
not
just,
concern
he just
himself
says, you know, no, it's good.
The young master need not concern. That's great. I love that.
It's like, I know the going rate is 2 for a skilled, laborer. So he's making at least that, plus whatever, travel and expense
He's waiting
fees.
for you to become powerful so he can become your Grand Vizier.
The evilest of subclasses.
Yeah.
Comes with a snake staff and
The
everything.
royal grand vizier.
But otherwise, fine clothes are 15 gold.
And
Okay, I can't buy myself a new set. I was thinking about it.
I'm sure you've made more than that.
Should have.
I just bought
I still have
spells
some
and
15.
paper, so I got
yeah.
12 gold pieces. I'm just shy of it.
Don't be so shy.
Are you buying stuff?
I thought about it, but I've technically got a set of fine clothes, and I don't believe this is what she just wears, so...
You know what second level spells I get access to at this level? Skywrite.
yeah, what spells did you actually take at level 2? So we can know if we want to copy.
Skyrate.
We can't afford to copy a level 2 spell yet.
No, but
He took Skywrite. He just told you.
Hey, I might not take Skywrite.
yeah,
It's not
Skywrite's
exactly Biff's
the
style.
funny choice.
Yeah, it is funny. I mean, it's not as funny as Dream.
I did want to write down
Dream,
something
also
familiar
accessible
from
at this level.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you pay for it?
Yes.
I got it written down, 50 gold pieces in
Yeah,
ink.
you
for spells.
yeah, you had time to do that during the travel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did that like last.
Yeah, I bought it a while ago.
Yeah.
Are we
No,
able
no.
to purchase stuff while we're here?
Yes, yeah, you now have a actual proper decent sized city.
And we have a
It's-
weekend too.
At whatever.
It's late right now, but so if you want to run out, otherwise most things will be probably done in the morning. So
Yeah.
Do we want to spend some of our 1900 gold to get a pearl? A 100 gold pearl to share around the team?
I'm good.
No.
No.
For the identify? Okay.
I tried to find.
I don't actually have identify.
It's like that might eventually become a thing, but right now it's like that short rest identify isn't a problem.
Yeah.
It becomes something you weren't when you run into things where we have 18 items.
Mm-hmm.
Find Familiar also has spell components.
2 gold
right?
worth of incense?
10 gold?
Yes, but no, we sold all those branches.
Yes.
So.
No, it's okay. I got 12. I got 12 gold.
And it's whatever market price.
just talk to me about what you're thinking. Most stuff probably will be.
I was gonna buy the herbalism kit and the augury material component.
What is
Ooh, did
the
they?
component for that?
Is
Augury. It's like
carved sticks?
Yeah,
on
yeah.
price?
Well, it used to be 2.
It could be a variety of things.
Yeah.
I
What
think.
what are you?
Find
Flavor.
Familiar.
Yeah, because it's either mark sticks, bones, cards, or other divinary tokens.
Yeah, those are both things that as priced would be, but probably not something that's in a late night shop. So probably something you'd be doing in the morning.
That's fine.
Anyone want to do anything else otherwise with your evening here at the tavern?
Is there a late night bookshop?
Do you go out looking for one? Barkeep doesn't know of one, but
Barkeep doesn't know of one. Then no, it's fine. I'll just look tomorrow.
otherwise, yeah, we can just spend the night and get on to Saber Day. 22nd.
2. While we are
Saber Day?
out on Saber Day, I will go and pick up 10 gold pieces worth of spell components incense for Find Familiar.
Easy enough.
And what moon day was the meeting on?
The 24th, so 22nd now.
I would like to start writing up the proposal to edit Witch Bolt to, on subsequent turns, just do a flat amount of damage at higher spell levels. So the 2d12s, then just a set.
So you basically spend your day doing that? Give me a second to...
I guess I'm gonna go find a fight.
What kind of familiars do people currently have?
Owl.
Cock.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven.
Oh,
No, I haven't actually summoned mine. I took this 50 gold and
Raven.
ended up not taking it because it
And
couldn't
yours
help
is
as
a
much.
chicken, technically. Okay. Did
And
you
you are,
have one?
we can modify
Yeah.
Witch Bolt for
What
what?
was yours?
Raven.
To do
Ravens, got
flat damage, that you can increase the flat damage if you upcast. So taking the variance out, it's like, in this just does 12, or like 5 on each subsequent turn you do that. And upcasting it will up that number instead of the base number.
So in other words, basically a number instead of a dice.
Number instead of the dice, and upcasting it affects that number and not the initial lightning damage.
That's... I don't know. So no roll?
Yeah. It's like you still have to roll. Well, you roll to hit, but that the other damage automatically hits. So
I think you're misunderstanding how much fun chaos is, but okay.
no, it just makes it a consistent spell that if you upcast it, that damage over time will really stack up.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously losing the random makes it harder, but yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Oh, it's like I'm also fine with the randomness if I can, upcasting it affects the second die, but I figured I wanted to get started on one of these.
Yep.
Once I get my components, I will spend time casting Find Familiar and make a cat.
One meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget, do I need any rolls for my thing? Or does that come later?
do not believe so on the initial one. I think the initial day in it is just me getting the thing, because I will have to make you a chart for modifying a spell, but I will double check since it's been a while since I wrote those rules. Make a plan. Must have spellcasting and ritual caster features and either know the spell you are using as a base or have access to a scroll or spellbook that contains it. Spend 8 hours devising a plan, informing your game master what a spell you want to base the spell on and what modifications you are hoping to be able to make with it. Cannot move on to the next step until your game master has had time to make the chart for spell modification changes. Example below. No checks at this point. That will come various times later.
Is there a cat mini? Can I see it?
The important decisions here. I require to view the cat mini.
Mostly because if it's already got a color that I like, I'm gonna keep it. If it doesn't, I'm gonna change the color to black.
Yeah, we'll take those.
Alright, actually have yes.
And then I wanna.
And I'm not sure if it's in here or
I
if
can
it's
look.
up there, and the beasts one could also be it.
Do you want me to look? You've got other things to do. I can just take time looking.
Yep. So, that is my suggestion if you have any first or second level spells. Today would be a great day to inform him so we could have the potential next session. Because the sooner you inform Adam, he has to make that rule between sessions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Yes, that's the one I'm looking for. You're not going to find
Okay.
another.
Is it already black?
No.
Well,
I'm
unfortunate.
thinking.
There. I had
You
to
can always go buy me a new mini.
Forgot to prepare them.
I might. For my cat,
If you have
I
to.
might.
If you have to. I mean, we're gonna have to twist your arm on that one.
Listen, sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Can my augury thing for my material component, can that be a magic 8-ball?
There's not pool, so so no.
There's only snooker.
So a magic answer orb.
Some sort of, yes. It's technically carved bone, but there's a little like air pocket in the middle of it, and it's been put into a crystal ball full of water.
Tell me, real woe or indifferent?
Ask again later.
Yes.
Stop it.
So that's what I do with my Saber Day.
Yep.
Yeah, I hang out with my cat.
Okay.
We're bonding.
Augury.
Is your cat Fae, a fiend,
Undead.
celestial?
What?
You don't actually get an animal. You get a spirit that takes an animal shape.
How do I find that?
You pick
You
one.
decide.
It can be a celestial spirit, a fae spirit, or a fiend spirit.
Well,
Do you-
where
good,
do I
evil,
find
neutral.
the difference?
Oh,
There
there is no
There is no
difference.
difference other than the creature type. Which technically means certain things like detect
Sir,
detect good and evil.
Right, that's what I want. I want to look up the stat block that we would then have.
It will have the stat block of the cat, except it will change the creature type to either
From
Got
animal
it.
to celestial.
Yeah,
fae.
from
Then
beast
Fae,
to-
for sure.
Okay.
Always Fae. Like, hold on, is there... I need all of the information. I've never had a
Yeah,
fight
it's
simulator.
just sort of like a little fun quirk. It doesn't really change almost nothing because anything that affects celestials, fae, or fiends will generally also affect all
the
the
other
others.
two, yeah. Like Circle of Protection versus
Yeah,
Good
it's like
and
it'll
Evil,
affect
detect
all
good
of them
and
anyway.
evil, yeah.
Got it.
Technically, Smite would be extra effective on a Fiend
And
familiar.
then they do point out if you want yours to be like unusual, like a ferret that's actually green with some leaves because it's a fae, or a owl that wears a top hat,
Yes.
or a spider that just has one massive eye in the front of it. You can
It's
also
like,
have it
I
kinda weird.
haven't made my Raven, but it will be in clothes.
Of course, you put everything in like a little vest and.
It'll
so
be a
on.
blue jay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Put my chicken in a little vest.
Is it fox fur?
Yeah, fox for vest. Yeah, obviously.
Wait, like, was Rockadoodle-Doo?
No, like Big D.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Character from book. He's a chicken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Osbert owl looks like just like any other owl. It can blend in with any owl.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That was his go-to thought was, I wanted to be able to send this stealthily.
To fly by attack for me. That owl.
And he didn't even think about that until you guys told him.
That
He
owl.
was thinking of it for how do I look at things that I need to see without getting close to him where I can get hurt.
You be a diviner, and you scry.
Well, that's like a 5th level thing. This is a 1st level bird.
True that.
And the mini I chose from already had a little owl on the shoulder.
That's adorable.
Most importantly, it matched the mini.
I mean, yes, I'm glad you all agree. Anyone else doing anything with Saber Day? You're looking for a fight?
No, not really. I just said that to be obnoxious.
Okay.
I probably.
I
I don't know. I think I'm good at dice. Let's go. Oh no, you'll make me roll luck as opposed to an actual skill. Never mind.
You roll a
For
skill when
gambling?
it's there.
Yeah.
You roll luck if it might not be.
No, he just makes you roll luck no matter what. It's the worst stat.
Are you talking about gambling?
No, don't worry, I'm not doing it. You're gonna make me roll luck.
Okay.
I was going to say I would treat everyone to a nice meal while we're in town.
I'm not a serf.
I mean, sure. Never turn down free food.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, probably at some. Are you just hanging around at the tavern?
Yeah. Doing bookwork.
Yeah, probably mid to late afternoon. Dominique returns with your clothes. Hang them in your room, sir.
I have a room?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're sharing it probably with someone, but yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, sure, thanks.
Yeah. I splurge and spend like 2 gold for all of us to go out and get a meal.
Splurge.
I'm guessing there's not any like earning potential places anywhere.
I mean, yeah, you can. Do you have a skill you're trying to apply?
Are you gonna make me use luck?
Are you trying to use it as skill?
Never mind.
Well, like, do you have carpentry tools or something like that?
I mean, that's what you do. You make little wood toys. Throw them at the kids.
Yeah, it's like 2 gold a day.
You don't charge kids for toys.
Oh. Well,
What are
he
you?
said
What are you?
A
See,
monster.
this is why you don't pay your manservant.
He said
the
earning
exact sort of
potential.
This is the exact
The
sort of thing
second
that
you said, yeah, it makes a couple of gold a day, I'm like, oh, you picked the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said that. That's a terrible idea.
This is exactly how we know you don't pay
I
him.
could have sworn, as part of my feature thing, I got a skill thing.
Probably.
Class features would be under.
My cat wears
Action
glasses.
Surge.
Cat wears glasses. Okay.
I found
Minerva.
a mini that I want that I'm hoping to get. And I want him.
Just an AI fluff ball of white.
I know.
Goodness gracious.
It's real, people. Right?
Come on, where is it? Okay, maybe I didn't get anything.
But I want it.
Maybe it's under background. Oh, I'm good at darts. My tool proficiency is darts.
Gaming tools, darts, yep.
I'm good at darts.
So make a lucky.
No, I just won't play.
Sure. Yeah, you can make an investigation check to find. You're trying to find someone to hustle for darts. Yeah.
I'm not trying to hustle for darts. I want to play. If I happen to make money, that's great. Investigation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
0.
Got a 0.
I got a 0.
You don't find anyone wanting to bet you for it, but you do find time where you can just spend plenty of time with people that'll just play.
Darts are fun.
For a couple, you get a couple ales out of it. Of people that are willing to like bet like an ale. Like I don't want to put any extra
Your
money down.
bets are the best bets. Anyone who does more than that is like trying too hard.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to spend your time probably making some friends through a tavern.
You wouldn't believe those posh little bastard that I have to deal with all the time. Always ordering his manservant around.
Oh, the young one that walked in. Oh.
What? The young one?
Yeah, I'm only like 19.
Why would I bring you to the bar with me?
You guys are staying in a tavern.
Yeah, why?
You just went downstairs and found
I wanted
a
to
dart
be
game.
away from him.
It's like he's 19.
Well,
he drinks small beers.
Yeah, I'm up in my room doing study and
He's
writing
been
a
gone
paper.
all day.
It's like, I invited you to dinner, you chose not to come. That was at the end of the day.
Well, this is not to that point, so he might
Yeah.
still come. But otherwise, yeah.
My cat is white and fluffy. He wears black glasses.
No, that's
And-
brown.
I know.
You
And
buying a new mini for me?
we might have to find one. And if I like a different color that matches, then we might do something else. But currently,
Officially speaking, whenever you summon it for that 10 gold, you can just redesign it.
yeah. But right now, white, fluffy, black, thick rim glasses. He wears a bow tie. His name's Jasper. It's a purple bow tie.
It's a purple bow tie.
Very importantly, purple.
I forget. Can you still A-space familiars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On your turn, as a magic action, you can whoop.
Yeah, just for all those times where it's like, no, they were here the entire time. I didn't forget to mention Jasper the last, 12 sessions.
No, I just made him right now.
No,
Yeah.
it's
But-
just a thing that happens with familiars.
Oh yeah, no,
Like-
I'm fully going to probably forget him, but we're keeping him now. And then once he's made and we've hung out for a little bit, we're gonna go find a bookshop.
Yeah. Like, Austin's chicken technically exists. I don't think we've interacted with it.
Yeah, it just hangs around. I literally use it as an alarm. I let it do its rooster thing.
And I have 2 gold pieces.
So a library is not generally going to let you check out books if you just show up there.
That's okay. I just wanted to sit
I'm
and
an
read
otherworldly
books in
spirit.
there,
You're an alarm clock.
and then we'll head out.
Okay.
We've got work to do
So
in
maybe
the
make
morning.
a list of books that I want to buy eventually or find. But
Yeah, you can find a library.
You wake up, it's like a half hour past
just
dawn,
feels
it's
best
just glaring
around
at you with the beak up. It's like,
ignores everyone else.
just mad at you for whatever reason.
Anyone else doing things before dinner?
Yeah, I'll go back to my room and actually test out augury.
Okay.
And for
I'm gonna need to know what augury does now.
Especially because it's a ritual and you can do it a whole lot.
I can do it once per day without failure.
Mm-hmm.
Subsequent castings have a failure chance.
Yeah. Failure or just lies?
Inaccurate results,
Yes.
and it's cumulative. Or you get no answer, it says.
Shake your 8 ball and
Do
it
you
just
have a
comes back
specific
blank.
otherworldly entity, or it just random? You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about.
Grandma?
Yeah, and it's like if you want it to be specific, and it's like I've got an otherworldly entity my hero catalyst comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, there's a cat with a hat.
Who would have
Yes, there is definitively a cat with a hat that's very well known.
Yeah, the Mike Myers character.
Yeah, that guy.
It wasn't
what-
nightmare fuel at all.
I mean, just as bad as Jim Carrey.
No, his was excellent. The Cat in the Hat's like, I'll murder you and hide the body.
I admit I haven't actually seen either movie, so from
Not at all
visuals-
the same vibes.
Oh, okay.
One of them was supposed to be playing a lovable, kind character. The other one's supposed to be playing a notorious grouch.
Mhm.
One of them is not lovable and kind. One of them is
Well, neither of them are
definitively-
really lovable and kind.
One of them is definitively a grouch.
I like The Grinch is a great. That's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
What are
This is
you?
one of the best. I'm
Yes,
just
that's the
saying.
one that we're defending. Yeah, we like the Grinch.
Yeah, we're defending the Grinch and we're not defending the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
So, what are you augurying?
My question is that if I made a if I ended up making some perfume for the king as a host gift for allowing us to have the meeting with him, would he like it?
It just tastes bad. No, sire, don't eat it.
Will this give definitive pluses?
Oh, I see. That's what
It would have worked. Unfortunately, the king's an idiot.
You get that it would probably be indifferent.
Okay, then I will not spend the time doing that.
Spend the time or money.
And he's like, he's indifferent to it. I was gonna ask whether or not buying something in town would be better, but I figured he could probably get it.
Yeah, it's like. So the plan is, Oz is going to be wearing perfume to give himself advantage, or is he going to enhance ability and then have me cast guidance on him?
He specifically has enhanceability.
Just because the king might not be in that indifferent state.
But then after that, with any extra time, yeah, I'll start on that first step of creating a new spell.
Okay. Probably end up missing dinner for that. But yeah, what do you?
I want to create a spell that allows me to see what's on the other side of a door or portal.
I mean, scry.
That's-
Short range scry.
Yeah. Short range, quick action.
Yeah. Well, do you have a spell that you're basing this on that you have access to? Like, do you have a scry that you're trying to make easier by only letting you see through a door? Because you have to have the spell or access to the spell in order to start.
Because
okay.
what base spell would have been Arcane
You have to
Eye.
have access to the spell.
Yeah.
No. Like Clairvoyance, I think is the lowest level.
Mm.
That allows you to have like a sensor.
Yeah, you'd want clairvoyance and then cut the range.
To lower the spell effect, yeah.
Because clairvoyance is pretty good.
How long is it hold?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute concentration thing.
But shave a whole lot of it to near instant and bonus action.
Yeah, you'd want to drop it down to like 2 bonus actions, see within 60 foot.
Mm-hmm. But clairvoyance is what level?
3.
Three.
Okay.
We ain't there yet.
No.
We're at 2. We don't have the good stuff.
But you gotta use the basis of what we have to build better stuff.
Yeah, so I picked my spell and I realized, oh, I can't actually use one of the features of my subclass because I do not have the spell selection to make advantage of it. The option to sub out damage types requires me to have 2 damaging spells, which I do not.
Yeah, you can fix that over time.
Yeah.
Did you need some damaging spells? Because I've got some.
Eventually,
For
yeah.
the same idea, would I be able to
I don't have
use
money yet.
Find Familiar? Since Find Familiar has the ability to allow somebody to see through the familiar's eyes, but the thing I'd be changing was the spell doesn't create a familiar, but it just creates a sensor that I can see.
Visible, attackable sensor.
You can just do that with the familiar.
Yeah, but not on the other side of like a door that a familiar can't pass through.
Depending on how generous he is with the wording of find familiar, you can.
When you A space, can he A space it?
When you A space your familiar and you bring it back within 30 feet of you. And no other specifications. Not a space you can see within 30 feet of you, just it reappears within 30 feet of you.
As we all go check find familiar wording. It's like, this might already exist.
Yeah, it really depends. Can you bring it back somewhere else? You can cause it to reappear in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you.
Period.
Unoccupied, which theoretically implies you can see it and therefore know it's unoccupied.
I mean, otherwise it just wouldn't work if it's occupied.
Yeah, so you can cast it on what you think is the other side of the stone wall. Didn't work.
So like casting it,
still
since
be
you were just
stone.
opening it back up there. Yeah, no, so you could do that.
No.
And
I mean,
probably for the
technically-
same kind of restriction that you would otherwise get with Find Familiar, because you would still be creating a thing that could be seen. Yeah, so.
Yeah, that would work because it's magic action to put it over there, and then it's a bonus action to use its eyes. So you could even do it on the same turn. Yeah, people forget about that feature of familiar. Your ability to just teleport it 30 feet away.
And it's not line of sight.
Not
Doesn't
specifically.
specify.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it not being. It then the next sentence talks about what happens if it dies. So
That is true.
It almost feels like intentional. No, yeah, you can summon it where you want. If whatever's in that room doesn't want it there,
Remember,
here's what you have to do to get it back. It's gonna cost you.
Yeah, your familiar has approximately 4 HP.
So yeah, that doesn't even need a whole new spell. That just
Yeah,
works
you
as is.
yeah, you do it that way.
Find familiar is great.
Spend time to try and work on it and be like,
Not just for the features of who doesn't want a magical friend.
end up just practicing and figuring out you could do it.
Yeah.
All in time to still join everyone for dinner.
You know, it's one of those things where you're like looking at a whole blackboard going, if only I could figure out the math to accomplish what familiarity... Wait, familiarity does this. As you look at this giant pile of arcane writing you've been working on. If only I could find a way to swing the arcane weave. Oh, wait. That's a classic engineer problem.
I've over-engineered this.
It's like,
thing
oh,
that
this
I could've
already
bought
works
off
that
the shelf.
How do I arrange these notes? Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah, good point, good point.
So yeah, I spring for wealthy, which is like 3 silver a person. Spend 2 gold. Rest for a tip. For the. is
Trying real hard to convince us that you're not a monster.
I spring for food for everyone as a friendly gesture.
I don't know. I don't feel like being bribed by an overlord. I mean, I'm still eating. To be clear, I am still eating.
Yeah.
Going
be
over
very
plans,
clear,
he does point out guidance probably won't work for this. I don't think that really things that can't be cast beforehand should be used.
Yeah, it only lasts a minute, so yeah.
And remember, guidance only applies to one type of skill check now.
Yes.
Which means if you need to take different skill checks, you can't guidance them all without recasting it.
I should also... Nope, guidance is a cantrip. Never mind. Not allowed to edit those. I can't even edit it up into a spell slot.
We can think about that later, but not at this point.
Just no for ease.
What is this? Break a skill check. You upcast it, you get bigger die, it lasts for an hour, you get one skill check. But it's here to break something.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a terrible idea.
Hey, I'm using my spell slots.
Yeah, that's... Can I use his spell slots to make gold appear out of nowhere? I'm using a spell slot.
I believe there's spells for that.
I
No.
don't believe you can create wealth without, like, wish.
Yeah, Wish does just straight up create wealth.
Right.
Fabricate comes close.
Still gotta have the raw stuff.
Yeah, but 50% profit is pretty big. But yeah, so I'm good with my Saber Day.
Okay.
And I'm guessing we only want one edited spell per session, or
If you have another you want to throw my way, you can start prepping another one.
okay.
On your other day, you now have a Sunday.
To change spells?
Yeah, that's what the campaign's about. Is you take a spell, say I want to do something slightly different. Look at the spells you have, and how do you want to modify them?
I made the rules thing for modifying spells. That ultimately one of the big things is it requires multiple people who have the
Wizard specific.
the ritual adept ability, which is the wizard. So the fact that you have a bunch of wizards together makes it where this is a great campaign. If there are spells you want to modify how the spell works.
I just want
make
to toss ritual tags on more things.
Yeah. They'll probably like up level, but then it's a ritual. Who cares?
Yeah, you'll be ending up making higher level versions of the same spells,
Yeah.
spells that do the same thing or less for higher level. But it's ritual now, so
Yeah, but it's
So
free.
do you have a second level spell already that you want the ritual tag?
Yes.
Well, tell
Rope trick. It's like rope trick. It's already. It's like the main abuse of rope trick is it's one action casting time to get into a safe space.
Mhm.
As a ritual, it's like no. Use it for its intended purpose. Camp out for 8 hours.
Yeah, it would be weird because you'd have to come down every hour and spend 10 minutes re-upping it.
I mean, I will modify multiple things that he can choose.
Yeah.
Like I do. I make the whole little chart. So maybe he makes it where it works.
Duration.
Yeah,
Or
changes
I
the
don't, I,
duration.
don't, I don't think you even need to. I'm like, wait a minute. Leomins is like that. I guess it's sneakier.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's it. Leomins is 3rd level and ritual. So rope trick being a 3rd level ritual would just be a sneakier tiny hut.
Yeah, and they would be of a similar thing.
Yeah.
Rope trick into a Lehman's tiny hut.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it'd be useful as a ritual. It's only a 1 hour thing, but it's like I still want it.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? More rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you spend your Sunday working that out, figuring out what the plan is for that.
Or geez, yeah, ritual mage armor. Now that's a good investment.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah,
Would you
that's a pretty good one.
knock it down to 1 hour, up the AC?
Not up the AC, just it's a ritual now.
Well, he gives you a chart with
Yeah, you'll
multiple things
see what
that,
it can do by the time I get it.
Yeah.
that you can sit there, fill with sliders.
Who else is doing things over Sunday?
Oh no, I saw the chart from the book. I mean, I didn't really understand the chart, but I saw it. As far as I can tell, I'm like, these things don't... These things just are here. I don't really think any of these have like a formula behind them.
No formula.
Nope, there's no formula. It is custom made for each one because any trying to make a formula for something is going to be easily breakable.
Yeah, it's like Wizards of the Coast, that is, already figured out when they gave us that. When
they tried doing the Unearthed Arcana before 2024, they're like, let's do let Wizards make their own custom spell later levels. And people just quickly figured out, I can break that.
All right.
Yeah. So this is DM Fiat. I'm going to make you some sliders that I feel are correct.
Yep.
I want to assist Biff with the mage armor ritual.
Yeah.
That would be an individual grab, yeah, because it's like, that's a solid one.
Mm-hmm. So, just working on that. But in other words, you will work on prepping that one.
If anything, you shift that over to like an expensive material focus.
Mm-hmm.
Get some payback on that.
Yes. Do you have any sliders you want to adjust with mage armor besides ritual tag?
No.
Not really. That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
Just access to it. It certainly has no influence the fact that I can cast a ritual spell without the ritual tag once a day now. That's one of my class features.
Mm-hmm.
Scribe. Is the ability to go, nah, it's not a ritual, it's a regular spell. What? And I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty useful little writer.
What are you doing over Sunday?
Getting to know her cat.
No, we're hanging out. We got it. That was Saturday. I just need one day to get to know him.
Yeah, the
Saber
cat's
Day.
notorious.
Right, you're right. Saber Day. Sorry. But Sunday we'll have breakfast at the tavern, and then I want to go out and about. I can't really buy anything. Well, I'm not too old, but I do want to like mill and shop and find things. Like, explore the town.
Past shop with lots of fancy quills all on a display in the window. Lots of silvers and golds. Interchangeable tips from, like, feather ends or...
I will go into that shop and inquire about it. You've got
hello, miss.
quite pretty pens.
Yes.
And quills.
Yes, they're all handmade. And he kind of gestures towards like a work bench, sort of tucked away in the back corner.
Interesting. I don't think I quite have enough spending money, but I am interested to inquire about how much such a fine pen would be.
Depends. What were you looking for? They start at 5 silver.
Oh, I could afford that. I've only got like 2 gold pieces. I don't really want to spend too much today. I kind of just bought a whole bunch of other things. So,
it's so fun to shop. Come, let's look.
I know.
See what you.
I know. But I like to write and take notes about my readings and whatnot. So, I got some just basic things, but I wouldn't mind a fancier thing. Maybe that works with, I apparently don't actually have any writing supplies. I just have paper. So yes, so I do need some sort of quill or pen.
Yeah. So starting out, something that's just simple, like little tinned tip. It's kind of been polished with sort of like a cherry wood that has like a spiral at the end kind of pattern that it goes up. For 5 silver. It has a little, like a small but little thing of a nice ink thing. Options. Goes black. Or, we also have like some reds or purples.
Ooh,
but then going up to like something with like an actual like silver tip, going up to like an ostrich feather. A little bit bigger ink. For 2. If you wanted to. If you say to have 2 gold, if you want something a little fancier like that.
Wait till my father hears about this.
I think for now I do really love that feather. But I think for now let's start with just that little cherry wood. I think that's a thing that's quite pretty.
Shall I wrap it up?
Yes, please. And the ink comes with it?
Yes, it's just a small container. Of course, we sell ink for more as you need it, but it's enough just to
Yeah.
make sure that you might. And as he's folding it in like a paper wrapping. So I'm gonna put the paper itself if you need something to practice on.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, here is your 5 silver.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, kind sir. She will go out and about and see what else she can do. More stops, please. I'll do this all fucking day. What? That took like maybe an hour, not even.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Next is a morning meeting.
I'm probably a little bit hungry, so maybe a snack. I mean, I had breakfast, but like, is there like a bakery? We love a bakery.
Yeah, of course. There's a few. You walk across to a corner that finds 2 opposite bakeries, and you're not sure which one the smells are coming from.
Well, there's Constellation Dough.
Okay, there's Constellation Dough on my right. What's on my left?
On your left is cookies and cream.
Okay. Can I? I want to see which one has the better croissants. So I will first go into Constellation
Dough. Because it's not Starbucks.
I will first go into Constellation Dough, and will peruse.
Yeah. Sure, little chocolate stuffed croissants. Lots of coffees, apparently.
I don't know. I've never actually been to Starbucks.
I do.
Don't bother.
I wasn't going
to. You can go to Caldi's, Severn Brew.
I like black coffee. I wouldn't go to any of these places.
They have sweet little tweets. It's great.
Coffee shouldn't be sweet.
He's not a huge fan of the coffee at Picasso's, but he does like the croissants at Picasso's.
Picasso's is fun.
No. Picasso's is my favorite.
I don't know what that is.
It's a shop.
It's a coffee shop with croissants.
They don't have a drive-through though. So.
They don't have a drive-through, so we don't go there.
Listen, if you
it's
believe
like
in yourself,
special.
anything's a drive-through.
It's a special. Okay, so
the
at
Blues Brothers method.
Yeah,
at the Cosmic Dough?
Constellation Dough.
Constellation Dough.
It's not Starbucks.
Yeah. Is there there's a person there?
Yes.
No.
Huh?
Hello. I was inquiring to see what your best pastry is.
This one's got like a cream cheese filling. Pretty good.
Interesting.
Just a centaur back there chewing cud.
What's this shop?
It's probably like a 15-year-old human. She's got like shaggy blonde hair covering like half her face, you know.
She's wearing highly expensive clothes that her parents bought her that she hates.
Thank you so much. I saw another shop across the way. Do you know anything about them?
They've got ice cream. They're good.
Just ice cream?
Well, they got other stuff. They got cookies. We got cookies though. We don't have ice cream.
They have ice cream and cookies, and you got cookies and this cheese.
Yeah, we got various
thing.
pastries.
Do they have
coffee.
pastries?
I've never gotten their pastries if they do.
Who would you say is better?
I think it's us. I think I'm supposed to say it's us.
Just the disaffected youth employee. You want an interaction? Here's a barista.
I want like a simple latte, and I'll try that cream cheese. Well, I want it. How much is that?
That's gonna be 3 silver.
3 silver. Okay.
With a tip.
And then the
Imagine
cream
these two
cheese
places
croissant,
do, like, food
the cream
swaps.
cheese thing.
Oh,
How much
yeah.
is that?
5 copper.
The wealthy
and then
meal
I
I
want
bought for
the
everyone
chocolate
was 3
croissant
silver
as well.
per
No, it's
person.
5 copper.
Okay, so that's 4 silver total.
Yes.
Cool. I will take all of that.
Starts working on the latte.
Is she just taking her for like 50% more in silver?
No. This it's just the
Oh,
is
yeah.
ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is
cosmic. It is cosmic dough.
Yeah, Constellation Dough.
Constellation dough is very
What
expensive.
None of that
a
tracked.
wealthy, steak dinner worth of money for a cup of coffee and a croissant.
I mean, the croissant's worth that much.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Is there a way for me to like leave a review for your manager or supervisor or whatever?
Yeah, there's
no, but I
actually
can
a
tell 'em.
Yelper outside.
Okay, tell them that I think that you're amazing and definitely deserve a raise, and just you're doing such a great job. And honestly, like I have so much faith in you, and you can do
Good
so
God,
much better
hurry
than
up!
this.
There's just a line behind you.
Also, I love your hair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lovely robes.
Thank you. I study books.
You're causing a lot of people to wait a long time. I hope this causes
Fuck
anxiety.
Just so
You're
New
lovely,
York.
though. And I will take my treats and my coffee, and I will walk straight across the street.
They're great.
You just hear a wildly complex order behind you as you walk out.
Just pry open the croissant and be like, all right, put the ice cream in.
No, they're in a little bag that I have like tucked away, and I'm sipping my
I'm
coffee.
thinking that's just a really messed up cannoli at that point.
and then I go
No,
in.
that's
Instructions on
no,
cannoli.
that's not
What do I
how.
do?
No,
Yeah, no, there's
not how
sort of like a
cannoli
glass covering that's just like
It's
basically
like saying
opaque
rice
with
and
the amount of
pasta are the
frost
same
that
thing.
is
No.
on it.
I
You
don't
kind of
know.
have to like.
They
You
should
can
have-
see there's like
she
probably
should have
about
bought the
3
banana bread.
containers of something
Banana
inside of
bread's
it.
fantastic. I
And
don't know
otherwise, just
about
sort of like a
whatever
glass
that
sort of
is.
sliding doors along the back wall with probably 50 different kinds of cookies.
Cookies. Oh my gosh. Who do I see that's working here?
You see about 4 gnomes.
Are they
So-
medium rare cookies or are they like actual cookies?
4 gnomes. Like,
Like Crumble Cookie has medium rare cookies. They're not cooked all the way. Clearly, because they're cakes.
I don't know. I've never been to Crumble.
they're not warm when you get them, I don't think.
No, they're not. They're just very soft.
They're
They're-
fine.
Their flavors are great. Their texture is like,
Fudgy.
yeah, it is kind of like a fudge cookie.
Well, I can't come up with 50 different types of cookies. I'm not.
Lazy.
Yeah, no, that's
So
fine.
it's just all sorts of varieties of cookies.
Yeah. Basically, anything I want, it's gonna be there, which
Yeah.
I love. The gnomes, the vibes of them, what are they?
Busy.
Short.
Like they're just moving around, moving things. They're doing a lot of small batch cookies things and like replacing things as needed to keep things restocked.
Oh.
You know, kind of one of them kind of runs by like on the way back. Walk up to the counter when you know what you want. We'll help you.
Oh, okay.
Everyone clean it up. Mr. Kibo's coming by for an inspection.
Does it tell me prices on a board somewhere that I don't have to ask?
Make a luck check.
Sweet. I like luck checks.
The different vibes I get from across the table.
I'm good at luck. I put weight into it.
Honestly, as much as I love chaos rolls, it's weird that I hate luck checks.
6.
6. There are no prices listed.
I just, I'm gonna hope they're not too expensive. I'm gonna go
Eat
up
one first.
and be like, hi, I would like,
And like one of them like runs up to like a little step stool up onto the counter.
Didn't charge
Yep.
it.
Are you nervous?
yes,
Why?
you guys seem so stressed and busy. I'm so
Oh
We just
God,
keep it
I'm
in-
stuck behind her again.
So, your, I want a cookie,
Which kind?
chocolate chip
Oh, cool.
with nuts.
With like walnuts or
Cons.
cons.
Oh, we're out of that one.
Kind of like slides over like a library
Are they
kind of ladder.
warm?
Yeah, these. Just a pretty warm.
Perfect. How much?
Be a copper.
Oh, okay. Can I also get a scoop of ice cream?
That is 4 copper. Do you want vanilla? Do you want chocolate? Or we have strawberry.
Vanilla.
And that comes in like an actual little glass bowl.
Adorable. Okay, and that's now a copper. And how much was the ice cream?
I don't know. That was the one. Did you write it down?
5 copper. You're at 5 copper.
Yeah,
At
4
5
copper for the
copper.
ice cream, 1 for the cookie.
Cool. Then I will pay you, and that's all I want to do today. Now I broke my one
Just
silver.
going through all of it.
Perfect. Is there like a little place to sit outside.
Yeah, you find like a bench.
Yeah, I find like a little bench. My cat's been with me this entire time, Jasper. He hangs out. He wears glasses. He's adorable.
So cute. Look at the bow tie.
Yeah, purple.
Yeah.
So we sit down and I feed him little bits of the bread, and we eat our snack. And that's what I do for the day. And then at some point, I would like to again visit the library and read.
As you're walking out, there's another complicated cookie and ice cream orders going on, where he's ordering like 30.
Ice cream.
Yeah, he's ordering
Cookie, ice cream
30
sandwich.
ice cream sandwiches.
That guy's a
So I think that's basically this side of the table for Sunday.
As he starts feeding them to orphans. I'm sorry it took so long, you guys.
I did double check what time dinner was, and I will be back for dinner. I will be joining.
They didn't actually specify dinner today, so.
I thought it was today.
No, we already did that yesterday.
Oh, I was there then.
Yes.
Cool. If there's dinner today, I will also be back.
There's dinner every day that you believe in yourself.
I will be back for dinner.
Yes. I am an overachiever, so I spend another 8 hours working on that spell. Just getting all the math right. I know it only takes 8 hours, but no, he sits there and excruciates trying to get the most efficiency out of the math.
Sure, I'll look for another game of darts.
At this point, I will let you choose between investigation or persuasion.
Is he doing darts at the tavern?
Persuasion?
Yeah, you now know some people. So now it could also be trying to talk them into putting a little wager on.
Well, instead of a -1, I get a +2.
Is he at the tavern?
He's at a tavern.
So I now get an 8.
Not the one that we're staying at.
I don't know.
An 8. I am unsuccessful.
Yeah. Make a darts roll. Is that dex based?
It's darts. I'd assume so.
Yeah. Sort of.
Do I just do an attack roll?
Dex.
It would be dexterity and your proficiency bonus for being proficient with darts.
So yeah, kind of attack roll. And we're at 2, right?
Yes, that's the level that you're at.
No, I'm at level 3.
Oh.
I'm asking about the proficiency bonus.
Oh, 2.
Yes.
Okay, 17.
17.
Pretty sure.
You're able to get 3 silver. Some people are willing to put small bets on it.
17. Bless you,
And go.
I think.
But otherwise, anyone else do anything?
Yeah. Let's see, there's a library, but there might also be potentially, I don't know, maybe researchers of some sort that could potentially be somewhere in the town. I want to...
That's less of a public thing. There probably are, but they're less likely to be out in like a public space, much as you would know, because your research labs were basically in homes or private areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for is I want to start trying to build a list of magical monsters, as far as being able to kind of have an idea of what components we might be able to salvage and which monsters might actually be the best for us to seek out for the purposes of collecting additional funding or components for spell creation.
Okay.
So I want to start looking into what people know about monsters on those lines.
Okay. So, for a lot of what you're doing is the stuff with creating the spells and doing things for that. And for anything with that, there isn't like pre-existing research. But if you're looking for things tied to a spell, like, are you like specifically trying to figure out like what might be creatures that could do things related to, say, mage armor?
Sure.
Because that's what I mean. Because you can try and look up creatures that would have things related to that.
That'd be helpful, since that'd be the spell.
That's what you're currently working on. That's why I
Yeah.
figured. But yeah, so and probably would just be going to a library and spend a fair bit of time with her there to do that. Make an investigation check.
Okay. 14.
14. It takes you a bit to get started, and you're definitely confident. There are probably definitely other creatures that you didn't necessarily find that could aid towards it, but some of the ones that you managed to come up with as I flip my way through a monster manual and look for
Like a really big manual or a manual of monsters?
Manual of Monsters. It's mostly traditional sized for a Manual of Monsters.
So it's not like the Invisible Book of Invisibility?
No, that'd be hard to read.
I just thought it was funny.
I'm definitely feeling like they're a lot probably closer to the beginning of the alphabet rather than the end of it. It's definitely the vibes that we're feeling.
What, magical snails?
Could be things like, you might be able to reposition some of the components from like an iron golem towards that.
I guess it was way off.
Could be things like a helmed horror.
Animated armor?
Yeah, animated armor. I haven't gotten to it, but I'm pretty sure I know. Could do things from like a gorgon.
Cockatrice?
That turns people into stone.
Yep, no, gorgon is chosen because it is made of metal.
The metal
It
bowl
is-
one,
it
not
is-
the blizzard one. Gotcha.
Yes, correct. Yep. And on that same line, like a bullet. I think.
Land sharks.
Yeah, another thing with big armor plates. So, and that, from me to you, DM to player, also giving sort of the vibes of how those components are gonna probably work. You're trying to do an armor spell. What are armor-based creatures?
Alright. Well, spend time researching that, and then maybe the next day we could figure out if any of those sort of things exist anywhere near here.
Anyone else doing anything on Sunday? Nothing specific.
No, we're waiting.
Yeah, then we get to Moon Day. Moon 24. Anyone doing anything on Moon Day?
Whatever Osbert has us doing, I will get dressed in my finest of clothes. It is this very nice, long purple dress, cinched bodice, with like layers of like white underneath, but like purple over. It's very pretty.
I go and get a shave.
Mhm.
Like, go to the barber.
Yeah.
Before we go, I spend some time seeing if I can. Do people know that mechanically bards have the ability to grant inspiration for an hour? Can I get a bard to talk Osbert up before we go to the meeting?
Probably not at this short of notice.
Okay, I should have done that on Sunday. But I did not know if people got that feeling mechanically.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably some extent, but obviously it's like sometimes it's probably more in world the feeling of sometimes after someone inspirational says something, you get that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's this is a bard versus this is other public speaker or musician. It's like it's hard for the common person to know the difference. It's just sometimes if you're really good at it,
Yeah, I'm just trying to get.
And then every time a bard does it, you don't get that feeling. They perform plenty of times and you don't get that. So it's just.
I'm trying to get a feel for the level of class obfuscation to world line here, because we got spell cert levels now, and that's more than we've had before in your campaigns.
I prepare prestidigitation today.
Okay.
Oh, do you get to switch out your cantrip?
Yeah, wizard
Every
thing.
long rest.
Is this one of those things they destroyed, haven't changed?
You're not forced into a...
You can just ignore it. It's just if you made a mistake, there's a way to change one.
Yeah. Otherwise, talk Osborne up. You know, sit there, do debate points with him.
Yep.
Like stuff that might come up,
Yeah.
like we did with me before.
Dominique can help you get dressed if you're figuring out how these fancy new clothes. There's all sorts of extra buttons to help you figure those out.
I mean, your buttons. You just button them.
You'd
No,
think that, but
that's a style button. You don't button that.
Yeah, you don't. Not that one.
Those are
Just
style.
like all the way up to the top. Everything's...
No, it's one of those suits that have like 3 different lines of buttons all in different places. Like, I'm almost sure there's.
breasted. What the
We
heck?
just cinch that closed.
It's like I'm almost sure this button doesn't have a corresponding hole. No, sir.
Are you aware that this makes no sense? Yes.
Otherwise, you head up to the castle, which some of you that have traveled around the city a bit more have definitely seen up a bit on the hill. Those that just have stayed basically back in the inn, probably just following everyone else for where exactly are we going. It's not overly fancy. It has... if anything, it has more of a sturdiness kind of design rather than being overtly showy of the wealth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
It was a fortress first and a suit of power second.
yeah. Something to do with that, and also something almost like a bit of humility of knowing I am placing this in the middle of my people. What am I trying to say is important to me?
That the elves just gave us this land and left.
They're still over there.
They're working super duper hard, guys. Stop making fun of them.
So, you get in, you're expected upon arrival, and let into a waiting chamber, where you wait. For several hours.
I will read my stolen herbalism book.
I don't know if it's really stolen.
It's stolen.
It
No,
will
if
not
she-
be returned.
Yeah, if she ever asked me, I would say fine, but I don't know. Ryker doesn't know about it. He wouldn't recognize. Well, he would. He is totally the kind of guy.
I read that.
Yeah, exactly.
He might have read it, but he doesn't necessarily know that I got it from his personal library.
Yes, I would have to see some of the inside to see if there's any of my notes in there.
I make my own notes against his. It's me like, that's such a dumb note. If I ever decide to return it, even if it's a particularly clever idea, I write it down anyways just to be a bully. But again, I'm probably never going to give it back.
To be clear, he won't be returning this, but I do write shit.
I do write shit in it just in case.
I talk mad shit for the sake of they will never see.
So the principle of the matter, I had these feelings, I needed to express them, even
And
if
then-
it's not to you.
And then in my own like personal notes, I'm like, it's such a clever idea, and I write it down myself because it's a good idea and he is smart, but I hate it.
All right.
Just slightly jealous that he has supportive parents and I didn't. And that's really where it stems from.
Just the most supportive, like, all of the money I could want, here's
Right.
a dance servant, go learn.
Yeah, and
Yes,
my,
here's a whole person. You get to keep him.
and the
Yeah,
only
exactly.
person that was supportive of me was the one that wasn't related to me. Love him.
He's
You know what
related,
that's
he
like.
just wasn't blood.
You have Dominic. He supports you.
No, Dominique raised me.
Dominic.
Oh,
He pronounced it Dominique, so Dominique it is. His name is Dominique.
That drive me insane.
Did I mispronounce it the first time? Yes. But is it funnier this way for him to ever be Dominique? With the emphasis.
Family originally spoke Parlay.
Was that French?
Yes.
It is one of the other languages that we have floating around on our sheets. So you could suddenly speak parley.
Oh, I can't. My languages are stacked.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Her background took all of her languages.
I have a lot of background
His
and
family
world built.
speaks parley. Who is this?
Dominique.
The manservant. Speaks
You know-
parley, as in
Parley.
he makes negotiations with the enemy forces.
There we go. Now I only have 3 more languages.
You know, I have
Yeah,
Orman.
it's the language from like this region over here.
Yeah, I have Orman, Svid, and Sektu.
Does he still speak it?
Of course.
I just start speaking to him in parley.
He is also kind about Ryker while speaking for a language not understood.
It's okay. A lot of people don't know they're being abused. Listen, I only don't believe in you because of your behavior.
Of constantly knives and giving stuff away. I'm trying too hard. It must be a grift.
I mean, yeah, that looks...
And there's a few other people or groups that are sort of in sort of a waiting chamber. From their attire, very much does not feel quite the intelligence thing. They're probably here for it. But slowly, different groups are seen, called. There's still probably, after about 3 hours when you guys are called in, there's still one other group that's sort of sitting off on the side. So, who all goes when called?
Isn't it all of us?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Does Dominique?
no.
No, he'll wait outside?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk into a hall, and inside basically the seating hall, it is still very much a stone walls, but there are ostentatious tapestries that sort of just line it, depicting things. Anyone that's even just like has proficiency with history recognizes at least a bit to know enough. It's probably a lot of history relating to elven past of the city and things like that. Sort of just honoring the past, but also at a certain point you can tell is kind of probably depicting various kings in the line, and where things have been basically added on top of others, adding new generations. And there are probably 24 total people in here, half of which are very clearly just guard. Standing to defend. There is... King Horatio is very evident, sitting on an upper throne, and you presume the queen is off to the side. But there are also sort of in side chairs others that you wager probably some level of advisor or nobles that are tied with it.
So I figure with my actual knowledge, I probably know of these people, given relatively close relations.
Yeah, you recognize. You probably would have recognized him. Probably haven't seen him in person, but you've probably seen art depicting the king.
Yeah.
You're not really sure as far as who the other nobles. You do know that this is a actual kingdom. He's in charge. Your nation has sort of a noble council that meets and makes decisions.
Yeah.
This nation doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Your nation, you were able to get a chunk of change and get things going, but not everyone agreed, so not everything just pushes forward.
Yeah.
Here you basically have one person that if they just decide that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. I figure my older brother would have been taught of these people a little bit more.
He may have had some interaction if he's made an acquaintance, a trip here to present anything, to do things.
Just,
Whether or not he probably if on it might have been following your father and doing it with your father working.
well, even if not met them in person, just of he's a high noble and that's the neighboring country, you would have to know these people, these advisors, and done research on them.
Yeah. Possibly,
But probably
but
not me.
Not yet. You're not quite sure if so.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah. So, go in and can probably just follow Osbert's lead as he lowers his head to a bow as he sort of approaches a good 20 feet away, and then just sort of stands. The king nods and then sort of gestures over to one of his, the people on the side, who comes up, and they talk for a moment as you just stand calmly, align with Osbert near the center. And eventually the king meets his eyes and looks over you. Present what you have. And Osbert goes, being concise. Probably you feel more concise than you would have been. But also very clear and direct. He is asking for a grant of land and finances to construct the Cosmotorium, an institution where we have learned to capture magic by knowledge and education, and being able to turn it into spellcraft. Write it down. Teach it. He defends the benefits of having the most intelligent people being drawn into Oramnis to learn and getting ties there, bringing in the smart people here. Let this be where they spend the formative years learning their craft. And the value that having wizards, spellcraft on his side could be. The pair of you probably recognize easily from the side that there's probably some sort of either warlock or sorcerer, and that there is definitely a cleric that are amongst the aides off on the side. Leaning towards it, probably a thing it has. But probably spends at most 5 minutes giving a little speak. So we would have just the advantage from enhanceability that he could do out in the hall before coming in.
Come on, diviner. All right, now, diviner.
Yeah.
You're a constant disappointment.
Say that to my plus 13.
Let's see. Persuasion is...
Doesn't help when you roll a 1.
Yeah.
Yes, well, you're diviner next level, so.
18. Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad. It does mean I have a brief moment where I have to, because I have a range.
Better than me.
Yeah.
It's like... No, I think Xalvadora has more than 10 jaw. Do you?
No.
Nope. Okay. It's like I'm rocking a 10 in that, so.
9.
More than me.
I don't know. Biff, do you have a 10 in jaw?
No.
Okay, so I am rocking the highest jaw in the group
I only
at
have
10.
2 stats that are above 10.
I have 10 charisma.
No, I thought you'd been getting -1 to that.
No.
No, that's your intelligence one?
Yeah, my
Yep.
intelligence is -1.
Ah.
So, king debates. Thanks for my... Easy, just gonna... take a seat. I will, think for a moment. And he gestures over for the people and gestures up for the queen to come stand around him. And he talks. You probably again sit for 15 minutes over just sort of hearing them slightly talking on the side. One of the guards actually just kind of moves over and stands over in your corner where there's just a few benches to sit. You find yourself basically sitting behind, in front of a tapestry depicting sort of like clearly a scene of elves giving a gift to a human.
What?
You breathed in like you were going to say something. I was like, nope, nothing? Okay.
Pick a fight with the guards. Right here.
Right here, right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Change the whole campaign.
Yeah, let's see how this wizard campaign goes now.
Fireball.
I totally cast Witch Bolt at that guard. No. I Misty step right up to the gang and be like, give us the smoke.
Thunderstep.
I don't have Thunderstep.
Yet.
Also, that would leave it with us.
Well, that's why you run over to the king first. Then you thunderstep away.
And about 15 minutes over, the one that the pair of you picked is probably a sorcerer or a warlock comes over and starts saying, I have a few questions.
I'd be happy to explain.
He
So
doesn't pay him.
I
enough.
need, and I can do one of them if you want to have me do it, but 3 people will need to make a Arcana check.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. And he should not.
Yeah.
Do you want to, or do you want Osbert to?
It's like, I'll...
You always take one of them, yeah.
I've got a +7.
I'll do it.
I'm at +8.
You're at +8? Okay.
Oh,
I don't need to do it then.
You can go.
Yeah, I took expertise in my Arcana. What else was I going to take expertise in?
What is yours?
6.
Nice.
Okay.
Rolled a 4. Well,
You did let Austin roll dice.
Hey, I rolled pretty good on the combat like last session. I had a bunch of good rolls there.
Like pretty good or actually pretty good?
I had like 2
17
crits.
plus 7, so 24.
I also rolled 4. So, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 13, 19.
Okay. Yeah, he'll talk to you probably 5 minutes. It's gonna be a little more. And you can tell he's just kind of just quizzing on what you actually know, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he returns to the group.
It's like, yeah, just what'd you do? I kept talking about my personalized notes, which make no sense to someone else.
Yeah. going more on the wizard part of it than the arcane generalist part that they know. You went above their head. They don't know if they believe you. She knows what she's talking about. He's got some ideas.
I did really good. I lived with the sorcerer though, so I talked with it from like my grandmother's perspective.
Yep.
From the bard side of it, like my mother, what I had learned from them and been jealous of for years.
Says Nagar says, alright, return. And just for you to go back up as everyone's kind of remaking positions off to the side. So we have conferred. I can certainly offer you a grant of land and the southern olive coast, near the mouth of the White River, and, close to the village of Red Press. We have there a access of 300 acres of land, and we can manage to supply 35,000 gold towards constructing such facility. For accepting this land grant, you will be honored by myself and agree that you, your successors, and the students in your care can be called upon in perpetuity when the king is in need to defend Oramnis. And to prove yourselves worthy of value to receive this honor, I do have a task that I would ask first to prove, as I am offering quite a bit here. I would like you to rid Oramnis of the menacing dragons. I care not if you slay them, or if you bribe them, or convince them to leave our nation. I simply want them gone. Milo here has information on them. And of course, we would come back here once they've been removed to be awarded such honors. After a pause, Osbert says, well, of course.
Can I make a history check on how, if the perpetuity statement is overboard for something such as this?
Sure.
I mean, you're probably fine with it. You have a lot of slaves in the family.
1, so 8.
you imagine there's probably something similar with the seminary that you were at.
Okay.
It's the idea of it's an institute that is somewhat financially held by the government, and it's within their land. So, I suppose probably if they tried holding you to it, if ever you abandoned the facility and left the nation.
Okay.
But really, what power would they have there? It's really just saying, no, you're in my kingdom. I'm letting you hold power here. It's probably the same kind of thing a lot of nobles would have. Yeah.
Okay.
The specifics of it being to a king versus your familiarity with it being a noble council making the decision, it's like that's a lot for one person to just say, when is it the king's request to defend it? Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Didn't it also say our children?
It said students.
Okay.
And successors.
Successors.
So that would be the idea of...
if I step down from my teaching position, then whoever...
Or as you move on, yeah, basically it's saying that it's part of the school and the school bylaws rather than individually held by you. In other words, I guess technically, if there's no one that succeeds and continues the school, there wouldn't be any successors and there wouldn't be any more students, and eventually that would be how it would end.
Yeah.
But as long as it's keeping going, he's basically wanting to also be I have wizards under at my call if I need to to defend ourselves. That's what goes a little bit, makes me feel almost over floral in his acceptance, almost fumbling a bit on his words, trying to request maybe a little access because this could take a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the king. We can discuss that once you've begun your task. When you've managed to rid us of at least one of the dragons, feel free to stop by and we can see if we can start some degree of process then. We'll see how you handle things first before we start awarding any grants. But there was Milo, who is again the caster amongst them that had spoken to you before.
Milo.
He will take you aside and he'll actually now we do right out here, and he goes back through the waiting room you've gone through and takes you off probably a 5-minute walk down a couple twists of the actual castle into a study. And you at least just kind of immediately recognize not sorcerer is warlock. just from the way that things are set up in his study.
It's impressive. Most sorcerers can't even read.
There's one poster that says, "Notice me, senpai."
Warlock of the book.
Yes. Break out my notebook, not my wizard one, but start asking questions about these dragons.
Yeah. So first, before that, he then has basically writes up a bit of the agreement for it. Very much shorthand, but at least is getting each of your names.
Yes.
So he has you each sign on that. It doesn't necessarily seem agreement. Ultimately, it very much seems like if you guys want to walk away and just not do it, then you don't get anything. That's fine. But he's just trying to basically make sure that he has things documented of who is going on this task and who was this offered to.
Yes. Here's your receipt.
It's actually more of his receipt.
We promised this to you, not to these other people.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, very much. And if talked about it, he'll just be no, it's like if someone else comes back having completed this, the offer stands. We're trusting in you as individuals. But as far as the dragons, and he pulls up sort of a map, probably somewhere in between there, probably has the entire actual continent, but then sort of focusing, of course, on Oramnis middle. We have 3 at least known dragons or dragon infestations.
Infestations.
Just all the many wormlings.
We have 3 dragon infestations, 16 ancient dragons here.
There is a blue dragon who was asserting control over the people of Great Song Isle to the east. There's a green dragon that has awoken from its slumber in the Gygus woods to the north. And, actually, a red dragon has made its lair near the peak of Stormwatch Summit to the west.
At the tip of that river.
Mm-hmm.
Is that also the river that would lead down to our land?
So, the river... Yes, one of the rivers that flows out from there does lead.
What were the locations again?
So blue at Grapesong Isle, green at Gygus Woods, and red at Stormwatch Summit.
And you said these were infestations, not just individuals?
There's not, like, hordes of them by any means. There's at least one dragon at each.
And
There
maybe
might
they're
be
followers.
smaller dragons underneath them that have not been kicked from the roost.
Mhm.
Yes, with awareness of how dragons are. But again, whether you treat them how you will, if you have to slay the large one and convince the smaller one to help you do it, if you need to
Just as long as they're not
find
within the-
finances and bribe them, dragons can certainly be greedy.
What specifically have they been doing to cause issues?
The blue dragon has been usurping control over people. It's an island community. We have various people, wine presses. It's great, actually. I have a few bottles myself.
I forgot. This land is Greece, right? Or southern Italy?
I mean, this land isn't based on a specific one, but it does have a decent stretch of Mediterranean climate that does olives and wines. Like, that is a decent part of what a big stretch of their coastline, as well as parts of
Islands.
their little island chain
Yeah.
is focuses on. So yeah, they do have a wine and olive kind of community, if that's what you're...
Yeah. It's like multiple small islands with...
But
a
they also
Mediterranean
have
feel.
giant masses of, like, this capital is at the base of, like, tiered rice flats. So,
What?
the Green Dragon hasn't made direct confrontation that I'm aware of, though I've heard terrors of some of the nightmares it's laying upon the elven settlement in the woods. The Red Dragon has mostly made a couple of smaller attacks on travelers. It is very close to here, however, and it's likely quite greedy. So there is certainly fear that as it seeks wealth, it will seek it. Well, that, of course, being said, I will point out they may have, despite what we are offering, they may have things that could also aid in your endeavors if you choose to slay rather than persuade to leave. Although, again,
from your reports, do we have size estimations of them?
I do not.
Okay.
Probably get better ideas from
local
more
communities.
locals. I'm fairly sure that the red one, from what I've heard, is probably adult sized. I would gather the others may be similar with the hassle that they're causing.
What is the warlock advisor's name?
Milo.
No, like chocolate milk.
M-I-L-O?
Yeah, Milo.
Yeah, like the chocolate milk.
Oh.
There's a
I-
chocolate milk brand called Milo.
Oh, I've never heard
It's
of
not
it.
an American brand.
Okay. that would probably
I have heard of it, but that's because I watched weird YouTube channel. It is not an American brand.
I'm thinking like Milo Thatcher.
I don't. That's Margaret Thatcher.
Milo Thatch.
Milo Thatcher. Is that the Atlantis one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thatch.
Margaret Thatcher was a
British
Prime
PM?
Minister.
Yeah,
that
no, I
was,
just got the name wrong. It
when
was
she
just too
died,
close.
they played "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead" for 9 hours straight on the radio.
Yeah,
So
she was-
wasn't what some people would call beloved.
Again, I was just thinking the Atlantis one. The last names were too similar.
Well, you know, those boilers can be a little tricky. Look at that. Made a bridge. Took what? 2 seconds.
Have you made that explosives character before?
He's made
No,
that
was
joke
me.
before.
I played them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. That was a long time ago. We were in DK Hobbies when I played that character.
Who doesn't like blowing stuff up?
Yeah. So yes, gather any more knowledge I can from him, but I figure research time.
You're saying we're not fighting an adult dragon? Absolutely not.
Along with the dragons, we are still developing our own skills and strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any? No, dragons quite a feat.
Gigantic
there
magical swords.
Any like other smaller issues? Not that would trump this getting done, but might help us build up strength along the way.
Things that have come across your desk that's been requested.
Nothing that I can simply myself assign or discuss. But there are certainly issues around.
Who should we talk to about this?
It's like,
You can tell he's almost conflicted in the decision of, do I be helpful or do I just toe the line of doing exactly what I've been told to do, kind of thing?
Can I try to
Persuade him, sure.
yeah.
Could I use luck for it instead?
Nope.
On topic, could I acknowledge history to know if this land with its king is ruled by local lower level lords,
10.
being mayors or such things, that someone of small power that you
Unless-
go to and ask if they
Unless
need
someone
help?
was helping me and I would get advantage on it.
Well, it doesn't sound like anyone was helping you, so you got a 10.
I can't help you with this.
I'm
I'm just
shy
sitting
of
there
things
going,
that someone's individually posted on some sort of help board at a tavern if you find such a thing. Otherwise, perhaps gods have things that they're trying to deal with. And
Thank you.
I happen to know there's not one unpeeled
Oh,
potato.
hold on a sec.
Mhm.
Because it would obviously been forgotten at this point, heroic inspiration is something that you have access to, so you could technically reroll that.
You have a floating advantage in your pocket.
I mean, oh, okay. I
Because
thought
we're
that would
human.
went away at some point.
yeah, but he gets an extra one
Yeah.
each day
And I've just been giving it to you.
that he's been giving it. So,
Oh, I
you just
didn't
get that every
know that. Then
after
I'm
every
gonna-
long
I
rest.
thought humans automatically got one every day.
She's not human.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh.
human. I'm orc.
Yeah, she's not
Oh,
human.
okay.
But she is human, but she's also descended from the dream goddess, so gets an extra one for.
Yeah.
So
And it specifically says with heroic inspiration that you can give it if you already have it.
do I get to just roll that same thing then? It's not.
Yeah,
an
it basically
advantage?
is. Yeah,
It's
you.
a reroll.
I think it's giving yourself advantage.
Is it giving myself advantage?
No, I don't believe so. I think it is a reroll.
It's like, is it specifically the higher of the two rolls?
The verbiage matters because
Oh,
if it's
if you have
advantage,
You
I
can
get to roll
spend it
my.
to reroll any die immediately after rolling it, and you must use
Yeah.
the new roll.
Okay, so
Yeah.
not advantage.
Yeah, it is not advantage.
Same roll.
It was fate.
2 11s, so which is a 10.
Yep.
You just hear
Yeah,
sucks
but-
to suck, nerd.
Do I think that's the thing you would go up to a local lord and request their
Make
steward?
a history check.
I don't know why. A natural 20 and a 3 and a history. It's already in the 30s, but by how much?
See, you have to roll because it's fun to make you roll.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. So yeah, 30.
30. So you're thinking probably not going to be one that's handling that in the city,
just-
but that smaller towns
Oh,
and
yeah.
such, some of them would have someone in that position.
Just
a lot
the
of them,
proper
it would
channels.
just basically be maybe a guard captain that really fills that need.
Mm-hmm.
If there's not someone in that direct community that has it, it's not every town is going to have its own mayor.
Yeah,
There's a
Headsman or
yeah, it's like not everyone has it. Some of the larger ones have probably been granted someone to maintain basically bordered role.
yeah.
And so they might, have it.
But a general idea of who I would talk to in any size establishment.
There'd be people to ask up the lines.
Here, his name is Steve.
This is probably the hardest place to find it because you're basically kind of going up the line as you do, but you've started at the top of the line. The top of the line is very much at the, figure this out. We've given you enough.
But I have an idea of who to ask in smaller towns to get side quests for power leveling.
Yep.
Which we're going to have to start doing.
But
Yeah.
to
Go fight a dragon at level 3 is rude.
Huh?
no, go fight
That's
three
dragons.
3 dragons. Wildly inappropriate. Hurtful things that
To
you
be
have
fair,
done.
I didn't say you had to fight them.
Go convince adult dragons to
No,
do anything you want.
did. We have collectively the highest charisma of 10.
No, I'm pretty sure he said steal the dragon's sword and give it to the other dragon. Say he stole that.
Eventually, you only have one dragon.
And probably a really mad king of all the destructions these dragons rain down on each other and collateral damage.
No, I think we're better off
I've got
just...
good news and I've got bad news. Good news, there's only one dragon left. Bad news, that dragon has 3 dragon horns worth of loot, is getting way too powerful.
And he's relatively sure it's your fault.
And he's coming here because we told him you have money.
Why did you tell him that? Well, he was a dragon. And
Well, he was gonna come for our
pointedly
money.
asked us.
Well, he's our new patron. So actually, he's going to be setting up the school for us.
And we will be defending his horde.
We will be defending his horde with our wizard magic.
And we tried to roll a deception check, but it didn't work out.
So now we're on his team, and actually we've come to murder you. Fireball!
Out of that, is blue the best team? Because reds are just dicks. I don't
Yes,
know
it's
enough
blue.
about
So
green.
as far as evil, blue's the best, but they're evil. None of them are nice.
Yeah.
Silver's the best dragon.
We can go back to being
He's
a
the
mafia
goodest
again
boy.
under the blue dragon.
Morning meetings, you said.
No morning meetings.
So, anyways,
Aggressively.
does our meeting?
Don't worry,
wrap
they're
up?
only going to
Yeah,
happen
he
once a
will
week.
show you back out.
What time of day is it at this point?
We've been here for hours now. It's like dinner time.
No, it's probably about 2 in the afternoon.
But when
Hey,
pizza's
you
on a
guys,
bagel,
you
can
guys,
have beef
no,
bagels.
you guys, I have a place for us to go. I have the best place for us to go get a little sweet treat. Okay, we want to go to an adventure to get some ice cream. Come on, you guys, let's go get some ice cream.
Oh, are you treating?
They cost coffee. You could totally treat.
Yes, I believe I can treat. Let's go get ice cream.
You spend like 2 silver.
I spend 2 silver.
Yeah. After our ice cream fun treat, go to the library.
Yeah.
Start researching dragons and specifically those colors and strength, weaknesses.
Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry.
Vanilla.
Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry.
Oh, no, thank you.
We
Ice cream.
we
No, it's not
actually
good.
have chocolate, vanilla, and pistachio today.
Oh, I want the pistachio. I love the
They
chocolate.
have a rotating flavor, obvious. If you're only gonna have 3 flavors, you
You gotta have a rotating one. I get it. I'm tracking.
I mean, sweet's not that good.
What? But-
Bitter's the superior
but
flavor.
I can go buy you a coffee at the really expensive place down across the street.
No, their coffee's terrible.
Have you? You went there?
I mean, they're all over the place. They use garbage coffee and then try to sweeten it so you won't notice. It's gross.
I just enjoyed it yesterday. It was quite good.
Was it very sweet?
Yeah, I got a latte. I just like the sweet thing.
I'm also wondering in this world that we have Constellation Dough, if there's a book about, Moby Dick, the White Trosk. and a character in it just named Constellation Doe.
I'm so glad I caused this problem. I'm honestly
It's
really
not a chain.
I'm really pleased
That
with myself.
was about to go out of business. I'm just saying.
But it's
How?
so
They had a
good.
long line and they're charging, 3 silver. They're making bank.
There's litigation against the behavior of that employee.
I liked
And
her.
the line was only long because it was a centipede.
And the line was only long because someone was taking way too long to order.
I was
Not
making
saying who.
friends.
So, red dragons are known to take whatever they desire and to burn to ash anything that stands in their way. They endlessly desire more magic, more territory, more treasure, more whatever else
We're not befriending that.
inflames their cruel ambitions.
What about green?
They believe themselves to be greatest of all dragons, and by extension, greatest of all creatures.
Yeah, red dragons, you don't have fun.
Pillaging and conquering are their right.
Mm-hmm.
Treasure can find no more honored place than their hordes, and other creatures are really just privileged to serve them.
Yeah. Any
Oh.
resistances or...
They are, in fact, generally immune to fire.
I was going to say the other one. I can't think of the word. Vulnerability?
No.
Nothing that you
No,
know
they
of.
don't
They
have...
are dragons. They are a superior existence.
Didn't Reds used to have cold vulnerability?
No, never. That's never
Dragons
been a
are a superior existence.
Well, I thought that's
I
why
wanna
you
be a
used Ray of
dragon.
Frost.
thing. No, you use Ray of Frost because
The
it's
chilling.
slowing.
No.
Uh,
No, it was Shivering Hand, and it was because you ate their dex scores, which they didn't have.
I thought there was also they were weak against the cold.
No, they're
something.
weak against being paralyzed.
Oh,
Yeah, they
I've
are
learned their
weak to
paths.
having 0 and a stat.
Yeah.
What about?
To be fair, that's
green
much harder to
dragons?
achieve in this edition, but if you reduce a dragon stat to 0, they would also still have a bad time.
Not necessarily, like,
Yeah.
paralyzed, and that's your thing says if their stat gets to... Because there's no just default, this
Yeah,
happens.
That doesn't happen, and
Yeah.
we don't have that.
Are you looking at green dragons?
Yeah.
They're not
Green
nice.
dragons, dwell in forest depths. They whisper evils into the world, manipulate the lives of those who listen. They're elusive, conniving, egotistical. They patiently prey on the fears of shorter-lived beings,
Oh.
corrupting and isolating them.
They're bad gift givers.
and I'm pretty sure their domain area just causes nightmares.
Even if they have a lair.
Yeah.
What are they immune?
not
or resistant
necessarily.
to?
Hmm?
What are they immune or resistant?
They are immune to poison and poisoned.
And we also find out fire breath and poison breath. So if we could alchemically...
You did?
I'm...
Yes, that's common enough thing to learn
Okay.
for this. No, there are just there's
There's books about.
yeah, there's books on it. Yeah.
And blue dragons.
Yeah, blue dragon.
You can also find that green dragons do not prefer direct physical violence. Combat is servants' work. So.
Hey, Nick, you would get along with that one.
Do I, from this reading, believe if we defeated servants and go up to them and it's like, we've defeated them, you have to leave now? Would it just straight to kick our ass?
They still are necessarily probably with that ascendant, but can physically mighty.
Yeah.
Just does not like being forced to use it. Blue dragons, arrogant, imperious. They crave control and collect followers like other dragons hoard treasure. They desire to transform territories into empires, to be feared by nations. They seek lairs near sites of symbolic power, abandoned fortress of giants, the colossi of fallen empires, monuments raised by their followers. They don't have an interest in common or flawed treasure. They're looking for art pieces, one-of-a-kind gemstones, things like that. They're not just hoarding coins.
They like the uniqueness.
Yeah, they like the uniqueness. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just throwing this out there, but once we defeat all these dragons, we no longer need the king to finance anything. And then we can just go and build it, and then we don't have to enslave the students to defending probably a corrupt monarch.
They, of course, have lightning immunity.
After that base research,
I think you are vastly undervaluing how expensive building the actual construct will
3
be.
dragon hordes.
yeah, offered us the construction plus 35,000 gold.
The
on
land,
top.
yeah.
And
Yeah, 300 acres and 35,000.
You did hear what he said about the school as far as it being built on the land and us having to do it as long as we're operating within the kingdom. Well, we could just easily, in post-game sort of scenario, just make it in a different location.
Yeah, my character would not understand that. At least.
Because he's an individual and he would be...
Do you express vocally concerns about this as you go over things?
Not in front of the spies.
For the spies.
This would have to...
Nobles.
Yeah, this would have to be sometime when we're out adventuring in the private, so no.
Okay.
I would like to see if I can do some research for the blue. If I can come up with a thing like this would be a better place that's far away and just condemning a different Now, as I say that's just more evil and will just feed into Bob.
Yeah. So
you would just be proving us correct.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not doing it.
So, green dragons don't like direct confrontation. Do blue dragons have any sort of qualms about that?
Nothing specifically mentioned, no.
Okay.
I don't know how we're going to get 10 levels.
But...
Because that's the only way to fight these dragons.
Eventually.
But along your lines and your thoughts, it's currently on a rather... from the grand scheme of things, small island. So even if you're not necessarily convincing it of where specifically to go, you might convince it to go searching elsewhere.
It's like, if there's chances of the blue dragon servant being a dragon cult and, feelingly is like being enslaved, or are they pro-dragon and usually? Because it did say collects followers.
Yeah. Let's see.
Because maybe if we write down all the
would be make a knowledge nature check.
Oh, that's something.
Negotiating with dragons is a terrible idea.
Well, I was thinking if they had a cult and we killed off the cult, he was like, you know what, I'm just leaving.
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't be mad at us at all for murdering them all.
But then
It's
we
their
really
fault for
shouldn't-
being sucky.
but we
18.
shouldn't kill
18?
cult.
There's probably some distance between some variation, and it would be hard necessarily for even them to know whether it's actually the effects the dragon is having that is warping their minds to do it, or if they're...
Oh, I didn't realize there's actual mind warping stuff going on versus just, oh no, dragon cool, let's follow dragon.
Yeah, I mean, certainly some people are amongst that.
Yeah.
But also with that, I mean, you could also try negotiating with the followers. If maybe the followers try and get the dragon to go somewhere different. Say, no, this is not enough space for us. Get the,
We're just gonna have to kill these dragons. They're just gonna come back. This is a solution that's gonna last like a year or two before they come back.
We're in the spitballing phase, and we all agree at this point in time we can't kill dragons.
And Osbert says, yeah, well, I mean, if they come back, but we've already managed to achieve our aims and get our land,
then they can torch the land.
But
But
we'll
it
be
will
more
totally
powerful.
be ours legally.
But we'll also be more powerful by that point.
Well, why don't we just kill them then?
Because we're not more powerful now, and we need the land and grants
We
and
don't
stuff to
need
get
it
more
now.
powerful.
I think we're better off trying to find other side things to get us a little bit stronger.
I can understand Condor's like kicking the can down the road for
Right.
Yeah.
dealing with the problem later.
I don't think we're gonna go straight up to a dragon right now. I think we need to find another town. Maybe go to the town the dragons are in, but see other problems around.
Yeah, oh, no, we are not facing the dragons
No,
now.
we're not facing the dragons right now. No. It's good to do some
I
research,
saw
but...
a swordmaster expedition where they were attacking 3 or even 4 times in the standard 6-second array.
Well,
I could do it once. We ain't anywhere near ready.
I could suggest, of course, probably
This is
farms up
Osborne?
the Osborne. Farms up the hillside here would probably know more as far as the red dragon, although that feels like
the last dragon we would
Quite
deal with.
possibly.
Should we be getting more powerful or doing research on the dragons?
I think we should be getting more powerful. We want to find other tasks to do.
probably both,
agree.
because one of the things that we will be able to do now that we at least have a particular foe that we'll be facing off, as well as development of our spells, we'll be able to create anti-dragon spells to deal with this particular problem.
I'm only sad we can't get access. Can we get access to any of the smites?
No, but maybe Witchbolt should eat legendary resistances for breakfast.
I'm going to be sending him total negative vibes.
Well, yeah, so we
Sending
can
negative
go.
vibes towards the dragons.
So build up our spell repertoires.
yes,
And-
learn more about them so we know what we need to prepare. Perhaps see if there's gear that we can obtain.
And if there are in fact worms hunting about, then we could at least grab them for research and or whatever
Materials.
Transportation.
weapon development,
Wrong worms.
and maybe get some fireproof armor.
Yeah.
So on the northern olive coast or up into the Gagas woods, there's an elven settlement there. We could probably ask about there as far as the dragon. It sounds like going directly to Great Song would be dangerous if it's controlling people there, but I'm sure. I mean, that, at least when I was living here previously, that was rather popular destination. I mean, it's possible sailors could know, at least have tales more about what's going on than what the advisor had.
In our research on the Reds, how likely, if there were hatchlings or wormlings or lesser dragons within its area, if some of them were to die, would it seek out vengeance itself?
Make an insight check. You have the knowledge nature for it.
Is the dragon a boy? Because that'd be even funnier.
That would be things you'd have to find out specifically about them.
Oh no! Oh buddy! Oh no!
So, 9.
9?
Mm-hmm.
You're not really sure. You do feel confident at the very least that if you took like a handful of coins, it would probably follow you for that, which could at least get it out of a lair if it has one.
Just what are we doing? We're luring the children out and murdering them.
Question about dragons. Would I know whether or not they raise their young, or do they essentially just kind of lay eggs and then leave them?
It's like evidently
A lot of them do have family bonds to a point, and that they would basically at a certain point either bash heads, and they would fight until one of them if the young decides that they're gonna try and take over because they want to take that horde, or they may get banished when the elder is starting. Well, or I mean, if they do that and fail, they'll probably die.
Okay.
If the elder is starting to feel like you're getting to the point where you need to strike out on your own to do it, but at least at younger ages they're gonna be around. So it's probably some sort of family ties of some sort.
So Condor kind of raises his hand and goes, "There's good dragons too, right? Can we just get some of them to come and help us?"
Maybe.
Like,
if
it would be a noble thing.
Do you know any?
Why would I know
No.
any?
We'd have to find some, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've been with me 90% of my travels.
From what I know of the nobility, I doubt that there are any in Oramnis, or I wager that they would be on our list.
Yeah.
Because even if they're good, they are also those that seek to control and have power.
Listen, I read a fairy tale story to my little brother, and that was not at all what he was like. He was a cool dude.
Unfortunately, not all books are based in
Well, I wonder if any good dragons would be interested in wizardry.
Just like
for going, maybe head up north along the coast to talk to sailors and find problems. We'll eventually come near the woods and be able to talk to sailors the entire way. As a loose plan of action.
Yeah,
I
I
say
think
we
we
travel
move up
around and kill everything that's a problem until we're strong enough to kill the dragons who are problems.
Oh, well, I do think that we could probably start making a list of potential problem monsters that we want to go and seek out in order to help develop our magic.
Didn't you need like something for a sling or a bowl?
Bullet?
Didn't you need one of them?
Yeah, well, that was one of the potential creatures that
A bullet.
has an armored hide that we could use for magic.
I'm glad you like that.
But yeah, we could go and seek to either find bounty boards or maybe some sort of hunters that...
From what I've seen, you all need magical creature parts to do stuff.
Yes. So let's
If we're going to do this, like, no matter how we do it, we need stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's go murder things and take their stuff.
Before we leave this town, should we see if there's any sort of like board here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
it would be entertaining at least.
Investigation for an armored creature or a lightning-based creature.
Okay.
Austin, did you end up coming up with a spell you wanted to modify yet?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the board is at the tavern. We should
Looking at
go
rope
this
tracks.
way
Go
to check
to
it
the
out.
tavern.
You know it's not at the tavern that you've been staying at.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Let's go.
But
to
they
a
have
different...
really good beer, and there's a darts guy I know there.
I'll look around to the different taverns.
It's like, does someone want to help me investigate?
Investigate for what?
Define that and investigate for a armor type monster, a lightning type monster, or
I don't want to be that specific in the type of monster. I want to find any monster to attack
That isn't the dragon.
that isn't the dragon.
You're
You're
doing
more looking for a board of tasks.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for a task board.
Yeah. Are you looking for task board, or are you looking specifically for people that are needing you to...
I'm
Give it
looking
a
for a bounty board.
Right. Like I want a bounty board. Like I want like a thing to get done.
I thought the general goal was to up our spells, so those need specific things versus just general.
Monsters
think
would be
our-
on the bounty board.
I think our biggest thing is to up our level.
I don't know if that's a character concept though. Upping our
To gain
spell-
your power.
To gain our power.
Yeah.
To gain more
I'm
experience.
not caring so much.
Level might not be experience, definitely is. We don't actually use experience. We do use levels, but...
I don't care so much about the one specific spell that you guys want to make. If we get around to that, cool. There's plenty of other magic within the world to gather and learn, and I want to be able to do that magic. I don't think I'm at a level of an ability to be able to even make a spell. Like I don't know enough magic to start creating my own. I'm very new at this. I want to learn more things. So any bad guy that we can murk with magic and then will make me stronger, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to blast them with fire or cold or lightning with my cool spells, and then they get dead and then I get strong.
Yeah, Condor's just like, you're advocating for yourself. I'm really proud of you.
Just like, I don't want to be specific.
Like the first time she's ever been worked up ever about anything. And we're just like,
don't you already
You storm
have,
off, make an investigation check.
Calliope's acid arrow?
I do have Calliope's acid there. I can shoot things with acid now. But I want to find other spells.
Yeah,
and I don't necessarily want to make my own.
Yeah, let's find a direction, and then when we see magical shit in that direction, we kill it on the way.
Right, and like if there's a thing that matches your armor thing that you guys want,
You could also gather supplies
there.
and just be like, oh, I got this. Let me start then making a plan for how to modify a spell that this would work towards.
Right, like
you
if
could also
we-
do it that way.
Yeah.
But like we just need more power. If we're gonna kill a dragon, I gotta be able to cast a spell big enough to kill the dragon.
You're just here, yes, queen! Yeah!
Any
girl.
monster, we can't be beggars, can't be choosers.
Yeah, no, just
Condor's like,
character,
one of us
Ryker's
gets it.
okay, not understanding the leveling. He's like, the way we get more power is by learning our new spells, and this is how
I just
we would
like
learn
go,
it.
oh no,
No,
listen, this is
you-
real
for
world.
level-
Books don't work.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
you could
I'm not
learn
saying-
from anything you fight is her argument.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying leveling. I'm saying gaining knowledge and power through experience.
Yeah.
I'm not you.
Yeah, no, Ryker doesn't tie the killing into that at
Yeah,
all.
Riker's
That
a
doesn't-
bookworm. He doesn't understand.
Oh no! We've done enough combating things that she's like, I really like the books, but you know what I really enjoy? Witch Bolt.
That and you're talking
Boom.
over him because he only has level 1 spell slots.
Oh, I forgot.
He's a baby.
You don't understand the whole. You know,
Should have level
there's
2 spell slots.
duplets. You can
I
do
have
like.
spell slots.
Oh,
Yeah, he has spell slots.
Yeah, spell slots doesn't have.
Yeah,
level 2
you can
spells.
use has like a duplet. It's like a more powerful spell.
Okay, I'll go over it with you again.
Here. I just casually misty step 30 feet away, like that. Hi, and then come back.
Did 2 spells?
No,
Yeah.
walks back.
What?
Oh, did you?
No, I use up my two second level spell slots.
And then the villain comes to the.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm like, thank God. There's only one of them. Stand back. He's
Pulls out
right.
my sickle. I guess I'm using this now.
Unfortunate for you, I still have magic missiles.
Actually, I don't have that prepared, but I do have four 1-level spells. Spell beats.
Yeah, so you're heading up. Make your investigation.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with her.
Okay.
You helping me?
Yes, because she agrees with my assessment of the situation.
Are you going separately to do your own?
Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
you might as well have more information than
Nat
less.
1, 2.
So you didn't even
Four.
need me at all.
No,
I mean,
I rolled an 18
18
and
or
a 20.
Oh, okay. I didn't see
Yeah.
you roll 2.
I did. I rolled 2. I got 27.
Mine's only 17.
Okay.
Are we just investigating where to find creatures?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't find anything specific to that. You find, probably mostly on yours, you find some taverns that, have probably more guard, like, person-based bounties.
Yeah.
If you
That's
wanted to do things with that.
I'll go investigate to see if any of those armored creatures happen to be around or on the way.
Well, that was mine, so do you
Sure.
want to give me advantage?
No.
No? Okay.
24.
24. Trying to think of you. The closest that you get is that you find someone who is basically aiming to work for, and you might be interested in this, basically that they're working to construct a shield guardian. So nothing that they're looking to kill or that they're looking for you to get parts from.
Okay.
But there's someone working on that. You're able to find basically a meeting spot. We can try and do that.
That's still a pretty interesting thing to
Yeah.
have.
Yes.
Considering we're all a bunch of
Yeah,
squishy
24.
wizards.
Yeah. Let's see. You had 27 looking for that.
7. I got a natural 20.
Natural 20 for a 27. Yeah, you're
Give
gonna.
me a task board. Task board that can be revealed the next time.
Well, obviously, any of that's gonna be.
Because we're 9 minutes over. Yes. You walk into the tavern, and there's a giant list of things to do. And one will be revealed next time. I'm ready.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
You and you with her. Yes, you're going about. You end up. That's a fun one. I came up with an idea, but I didn't look the thing up.
Yes. You can't pigeonhole him. You gotta let him think his own thing.
It's a riddle competition.
You can't narrow it in. You just gotta be broad. Let him have the creative juices.
It's just a quick riddle competition.
Punch things with magic. She's like a barbarian, but with spells. I have one drachma. Damage. All damage is 3 damage.
You end up finding your way into what is evidently the Elven District.
Okay.
And you see a sign at a certain point that some things use like ancient Elven for things. It's fancy. It's not, but sort of.
I saw 3 languages.
Kind of a ancient Elven is a dead language, so it's not one that you're would have. No one actually speaks it. You recognize some of the words of it because like the gods are named from it and things. But yeah, it just sort of says I got a big plaque over what looks like sort of like almost like kind of a robust and grand tavern. Casus Cassitor. But as you get closer, you see the Oramnis sort of titling underneath it. Adventure seekers have found your home. And
We are so good at this.
We are so good at this.
They suck. We're amazing.
I'm like, we've got this. I get your vibe going to stab things. I just want to do it with magic.
That's fair.
Right.
I mean, we do what we're best at.
Like, I always end up cutting myself if I hold a knife for too long. Like, I just don't...
Don't worry about that. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
You blow it up, I stab it.
Right, no.
And as you walk to the door, we'll pick up next time. Thank you for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.